I knew people that were in labor unions, but most people I knew they were UAW people, you know. So that most of my family, that in St. Louis, Chicago, you know, places back east, they're UAW. So that was my I got my perception of the labor movement from them. And so, you know, during the 60s and the 70s, a lot of black people were put into positions of power, you know, on the assembly line and in the local unions of the UAW. So I thought the building trades were the same, but they weren't, you know. So when I first got here, I had a brother that was living here, and I stayed with him for about 2 months, and I won't live with him no more. So I used to go out. I said I can't live with this guy. So I went out, and I used to go to a day labor place,
Right.
and work day by day. So I'd have too many bad habits. So at one time I was walking around with something like 20 checks in my pocket, and I didn't cash, and I knew I was gonna save it, so I get a place to live. So when I first got here, I didn't know what neighborhood was this, what neighborhood was that, and so I got a job over in Bellevue, and it was a place called Ace Novelty. It was a novelty shop. It was a place I don't know. They used to do the Santa's Secret Helper. Do you remember that?
Yes, Santa's Secret Helper.
So that was the warehouse that sent all the stuff to the schools, so that children can sell it for whatever charity they were doing, whatever. It was a ripoff, actually.
Candy bars.
Yeah, they get something like a nickel out of each candy bar. You know what I'm saying? So it was basically a ripoff. Just like they do now with the Girl Scout cookies. I don't understand it, but that's a different story. But anyway, I was working over there, and we were working in the warehouse, and there was a guy that wanted to unionize the warehouse, and so I said, well, yeah, that's a good idea, and they started an anti-union campaign to not get people to form a union. You know, because it was supposed to be a family business. We'll take care of you, blase, blase, blase. But during that time, they had made me the supervisor of the floor, which meant that I coordinated getting all the arts together and getting them ready to be shipped to wherever. So, but before I got that position, I had applied for the apprenticeship, and I worked for Ace Novelty for a couple of years, but I had applied for the apprenticeship something like it took me 18 months from the day I applied to the day I was accepted to the apprenticeship, and so I was doing all work and everything was going fine, and they had to do a new plant manager, whatever they want to call it. It was a woman. I don't have anything against women, but I have something against this woman. And she was a bitch. You know, she like fired people for no reason. You know what I'm saying? She was trying to intimidate people, and try to get that was her way of that was her management style. She managed through intimidation. And so the apprenticeship had called me and said, well, you got to self-fit, come on down. And so, I just blew them off, you know what I'm saying, because it took so long. And I thought I was going to go places at Ace Novelty. So anyway, about a week later, the woman, she started a campaign against me. I guess she wanted to get rid of me or try to intimidate me or whatever, and it ticked me off. So I called her apprenticeship back, and I asked their position still available. They said, sure, come on in. So I went to one and said, I don't think I can do this no more. So I quit. And she said, well, you got to give us two weeks notice. I said, no, I don't. You know, and I see you fire people and not giving them any notice. So I see, you know, it's been nice working for you. Have a good life, but I'm out of here.